All right, let's talk about Nosferatu, directed by Robert Eggers, starring Bill Skarsgård, Willem Dafoe, Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Emma Corrin. I wasn't real familiar at all with the character or the story of Nosferatu. Everybody's seen the images of him going up the stairs with the shadow. That is the extent of what I knew about this. So I was going into this film. I had high hopes for a cool vampire story. And then as I'm watching this, I realized this is literally just Dracula. It is literally just Bram Stoker's Dracula. And so much so that I was looking into this. The creator of the 1922 film was sued for copyright infringement from the Stoker estate. And the court ruled in favor of Stoker's estate, saying the creators of Nosferatu essentially plagiarized the Dracula story and just changed a few little details like character names. And that way they tried to avoid any legal repercussions. But the courts ruled in favor of the Stoker estate and ordered all copies of Nosferatu to be destroyed. Luckily, a few of the copies survived, allowing it to be viewed today. And if you actually want to watch the original, look it up on YouTube. It is there for free. But back to Robert Eggers. His adaptation of this Nosferatu story. I want to talk about the cast. I was not familiar with anything that Lily Rose Depp has done. I knew who she was. I knew of a few movies that she'd been in, but I've never actually seen any of those films. But my God, this woman can act. She did such a fantastic job as Ellen. And there's moments where she has to do very physical movements and facial movements and eye movements. And part of it, I thought, okay, they just CGI'd this or they enhanced it in some way. But I listened to an interview with Robert Eggers and I did some looking online. Everything that she did was her. Nothing was CGI. It was all her doing, and she did a fantastic job. Nicholas Hoult plays Thomas. He was fantastic. Willem Dafoe is always such a joy to watch. He's so much fun. He looks like he's having the time of his life. Aaron Taylor Johnson as Friedrich, he was okay. There were a few moments where I thought he didn't really give it his all, but overall, he was fine. Emma Corrin, who plays Friedrich's wife, Anna, she's really good. I've only seen her in one other thing with Deadpool and Wolverine, but I really enjoyed her in that, and she didn't fail me here. She did a really good job. But the real star of this film is Bill Skarsgård. When I heard he was going to be playing Count Olaf, or Count Orlok, excuse me, I didn't know how I felt about this. He did such a great job as Pennywise. From it, I just didn't think he would be able to. I wasn't highly anticipating a fantastic job, and it's nothing that he's done in his career to make me feel that way. I don't know the reason why I had that feeling, but watching him portray this character and learning that he went through studying with an opera singer how to change his voice. I honestly thought his voice was dubbed because he sounded so different and it was so deep and eerie. His presence on screen is creepy, intimidating. He is legitimately terrifying in this film. Bill Skarsgård kills it as Count Orlok. When we first meet Count Orlok, Thomas goes to the castle to have him sign some papers for real estate purposes. And this entire set, from the moment Thomas arrives and meets the Count to the moment Thomas escapes the castle, this entire chunk is completely terrifying, and I loved it. Robert Eggers did such an amazing job with the lighting, the way the Count moves across the screen, and he's in shadow, or he's a little bit out of focus in the background or the foreground, or there's a shot where he's sitting in a chair in front of a roaring fireplace. You can kind of make him out a little bit, but with that glow from the fireplace, he's kind of hidden in silhouette. But with his voice and his slow, methodical movement, he is such a terrifying figure. It is so good. The middle of the film kind of slows down a little bit, but when we finally get a full view, unobstructed view of the Count, he looks awesome. Everything from the coat to the mustache to the fingers, and then it just amps it up with the voice and his accent. This movie is terrifying. The cast is fantastic. The special effects, what do I say? Everything about these special effects are awesome. This movie's heartbreaking. If the character of Friedrich, what he goes through, it is heartbreaking. The character of Lily Rose Depp, what she goes through. Ellen, with her being almost possessed by the Count, people around her, and the doctors think she's just crazy, or she has too much blood, or she just needs to tighten up her corset to control her womb. This movie, I'm not a huge fan of the Dracula story. I'm not a huge fan of Count Dracula. He's okay. And I know Nosferatu is just a cut and paste copy of the Dracula story, but the character of Count Orlok, I think, is better than Count Dracula. Orlok was legitimately terrifying. This movie is fantastic. If you have not yet watched Nosferatu, it is streaming as of this recording on Peacock. Check it out. It's a great horror film. Robert Eggers does a great job with the atmosphere and just the sense of dread. His lighting is so fantastic. There's one scene where it's just lit by a torch, and you kind of see movement in the background when Count Orlok is around. It's legitimately scary as hell, and I love it. So yeah, if you have not checked out Nosferatu, go check that out. If you'd like, please follow, subscribe, hit that notification for new videos pop up. I'm currently in the middle of doing the Alien franchise, reviewing each movie, and then I'm going to combine them into a top, best to worst list. And then after that, who knows? I'm going to continue to talk about new films that I've watched. Sadly, there's nothing that's been released in theaters that I really care to watch, but hopefully that'll change here in the next week or two. And yeah, thanks for taking some time and listening to me ramble. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and have a good evening.